My tea friends, how are you? I have been off of tea for a little while now. I did have some more of that Hawaiian green tea last week, but that's really about it. So anyway, this is a new one. This is from RAKKASAN, okay? And I got this one because I was, trying to find a bunch of different teas from all of the border countries. And so this particular company, which is based in Dallas, sells teas from something like 7 or 8 different countries. And so this one is called Warnagala Wild. It's a Sri Lankan black tea. And I have to say, really good response time and everything from the company. I sent them an email because I wanted to kind of mix and match their countries, whatever. And so they were really nice in doing that. The one complaint I have that I did not anticipate was, see, the tea comes in these pouches, right? In these, so there's no humidity pouch in here. There's nothing, just a thin plastic bag, and there's no label on it. So traveling with this it's impossible. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to either figure out my own label or I don't know, but I there's just no way, because I have a whole box of these tin cans, and there's just no way I can travel with that. So I got to figure out something to do, create my own labels or something, which is probably what I'm going to do. Just put them in Ziploc bags and then just, write on a piece of paper or something. But either way, I'm really excited. I have had Ceylon tea before. I have to admit, it is not one of my favorites, but I wanted to really go in depth and try to get a few different kinds of tea from Sri Lanka to figure out, just kind of what the vibe is. So right away, it is very similar to the Indian black teas as far as just the aroma of the dry leaf. Very, very much like a muscat grape type situation going on. Very, very dark. As you see, it's the cold brew. I did do 3 teaspoons basically, and then tried to match the water content. So this is a little less than 32 ounces. Yeah, and I think I did good. I'm gonna have to definitely play around with the straw. See if that's better. So I am getting some leaf, but I don't think it has anything to do with the actual quality of the leaf. It's just something's not right with my straw thing here. But yeah, it's not super strong, but it is definitely for sure in that muscat grape flavor profile. Very thirst quenching though, not drying at all. Got my tea pot. Yeah, very thirst quenching. I can tell that if I took this out on like a hot day or whatever, it will, it'll be just fine. I won't have to worry about any weird flavors or anything coming out because of the extra sun brew. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna warm this glass just for fun. Yeah, there's a little bit more there than muscat grape. Smells kind of blue, almost like a blueberry, but definitely a sweet grape flavor. And I say it blue, I'm gonna say closer to purple drink. Yeah, closer to purple drink. I guess it's one of those things like if you know, you know. You know what? I did not bring, that's okay. Let's do that. All right. I'm gonna do just enough. Yeah, the leaf looks really good though. Looks like really decent quality. Oh man, yeah. Yeah, like I say, it's definitely a muscat grape, but there is something else there. It's kind of like a dark thing. Maybe a little bit of chocolate, just a tiny bit, almost. Okay, here we go. Chocolate covered craisins. Yes, chocolate covered craisins. Yeah, definitely. Chocolate covered craisins. That's exactly what it smells like. All right, so I'm gonna give this thing a decent wash. And now let's see what we get. I'm really excited because I really liked those chocolate covered raisins. And it's almost turning into like a kind of a reddish. Oh, wow. So I can tell that this thing is gonna lose its potency, aroma wise, fairly quickly. Because it's not super strong, but it is really nice. It's like the wet leaf has turned more fruity. So like the chocolate thing is gone, and now it's just like it's like a red grape without the skin. Yeah, like a cold red grape without the skin. That's what I've been eating for the last couple of days. Those big red grapes with the seeds. And yeah, and what I like to do is I like to bite into the grape. I don't just like put a whole one in my mouth. I like to bite into it. And so the smell of the flesh of the grape is what this smells like. It really does. All right, so I'm going to give this a decent brew. I'm gonna say 30 seconds for this first infusion. And if it's too strong, I can always step it back some. But I think this one is going to require a bit of pushing. Okay, that's close enough. It's about 30 seconds, and it's a nice dark liquor too. All right, let's see if I was right about this aroma. Still there, still there. Leaves are starting to open up, as you can see. And like I say, they are sort of reddish, right, getting there. At some point, I'm sure it'll turn more green, but right now it's kind of red. But yeah, that aroma is fast leaving. And look at this color. Oh my goodness. That is very close to Dien Hong. Very close to a Darjeeling Autumn Flush. It is definitely a red tone to that. No question about it. All right, see what we get here. Wow. Unexpected. I think I like this one. There's a tiny, there's a little bit of bitterness. I'm not gonna say tiny. I'm gonna say there's a little bit of bitterness there, but it's good. You know, it's not back of my tongue. Bitterness, it's the kind of bitterness that I like. I'd say more middle of my tongue, you know. Even when I try to force it down the sides of my tongue, it's still hitting like right in the middle. It's really good. I like it. It is, again, it is, even in taste profile, very similar to a Dien Hong, very similar to a Darjeeling Autumn Flush. And that's another thing. I don't know. I didn't check the site before I came on. But I'd be curious to know if this was spring, summer, or fall picking. Being that Sri Lanka is, you know, next door to India. I've never been there, so I'm sure it's probably a lot further than what I think, or maybe not. I don't know, but I imagine it's got to be some of the same varietals. Sri Lanka is a lot warmer than India, Darjeeling in particular, much further south. So I don't know. But I have to imagine that this has got to be a summer or fall picking. It's got to be. It has that same flavor profile. Now, I personally love Darjeeling Autumn Flush. It is what I consider to be like a coffee substitute. You know, like if I'm really in the mood for coffee, but you know, maybe I don't want to drink coffee, I don't have coffee, I can depend on a Darjeeling Autumn Flush to give me that same feeling without the caffeine, you know. Dien Hong, for me, sort of the same thing. Maybe it's a bit more fruity, like a fruity kind of coffee, fruity-ish coffee. But still gives you that kind of like, you know, hot cocoa, hot coffee type of thing. So the question becomes, do I prefer this or do I prefer the Darjeeling Autumn Flush? And I can't say. I think as of right now, I'll say I prefer this one because it has sort of a sharpness and something of a minerality. It's just a bit more complex than the Darjeeling Autumn Flush. And for me, that's saying a lot because, like I said, Darjeeling Autumn Flush is one of my favorites. Matter of fact, I don't consider myself like, you know, I'm not a black tea fan, you know what I'm saying? But there are a few that I really like. Oriental Beauty, like I said, the Darjeeling Autumn Flush is a is a black tea. And that's really about it. Yeah, Oriental Beauty, if you even want to call out a black tea. And then the Darjeeling Autumn Flush. So I'm doing this one at half the heat, so like 50 Celsius. I'm gonna let it sit for about a minute, just to give it enough time to really get all the goodness. And I can see already the color is changing, and it is like a really rosy red hue, bouncing off the glass and the light here. It is, I didn't expect that. Look at that. That is so red. And I really did not expect that. Matter of fact, the place that I get my Darjeeling Autumn Flush from, Golden Tips Tea, they label their Autumn Flush as Red Thunder, I think it is, something like that, because it does have those red hues in the liquor. Yeah, I just did not expect that. Lapsang Souchong, you know, I like that kind of smoky black tea thing going on, but I wouldn't consider it a favorite. Yeah, the leaves are starting to open up. I can say this though, the Darjeeling Autumn Flush does have a stronger, more potent aroma, and a really nice aroma. So you can see the color there. It's really like almost pink now, which is so weird. That is a weird color, and it's just the water temperature. I think I'm gonna knock up the heat quite a bit for this next infusion and just see if maybe I can get the color to change. Not bad. Not really getting anything with cooler temps. No, this one definitely, for my preference anyway, needs higher temps to really extract the strength from the leaf, because it does have some potency. It does, and yeah, I really like the aroma, but it's not super strong. But man, it is turning like candy sweet. Yeah, I'm really surprised, honestly. Like I say, it's not super strong, but I like the fact that it is really really changing and evolving. Now, what I'm gonna do with this infusion, since I know I like the high heat, is I'm gonna let this thing really sit and really brew, and see if I can overbrew this thing. I'm not even gonna look at my watch here. That color. And I'm curious to see if the color changes, if it gets darker or if it stays lighter, because my thinking is that the fact that the aroma is not as strong means that the same thing is going to happen with the liquor, right? You know, we're on the third infusion now, and I have a feeling that maybe it's just going to lose power, and I think we're going to see that in the color of the liquor. So that's what I'm curious about. I don't remember what the price on this was, but this is 2 ounces, yeah, 57 grams. 57 grams, and I don't think I paid more than $30, $40. So we're talking less than $1 a gram. which, you know, you may say is cheap or expensive. I don't know, but it's quite a bit of tea. And I do like it. I do. I don't know if it's going to like permanently replace my love for the Darjeeling Autumn Flush, but it is definitely very close. It really is. And you know, hopefully when I get back to my my storage unit and I grab that third flush out of there, I get a chance to do sort of a side by side and make a real decision. Either way, I'm happy that I have this one to keep and drink for some time. Now it's really green as far as the aroma. It is like collard greens in the cup. You know, it is definitely a green leaf. No question about it. It's lost pretty much all the sugar. The chocolate was gone after the first infusion. And now it's more like a green leaf. So I'm gonna expect that this third infusion, because the temp is so high and oh, look at the color, it's dark. So no, it just is the water temperature that's doing it. So it has not lost its potency. I can say that if I kept this thing at high temps, I can continue to brew this thing at the same strength for probably about 5 or 6 infusions. But it is not overbrewed. Not overbrewed. And I'm gonna go ahead and crank up the heat for my next infusion. But yeah, cannot overbrew this one. Matter of fact, there was a little bit of bitterness in the first infusion. That's gone away. So it has lost some potency. It has, but it's still good. It still gives you that like coffee type flavor profile that personally I look for in a black tea. As far as like any sort of body sensation, I haven't had anything to eat. This is my first drink of the day, and I don't feel anything. You know, maybe a little bit of a caffeine push, but nothing like very noticeable. So anyway, like I said, I got, where'd it go? I have a lot of tea from these guys. Really looking forward. They have Nepal. They have Sri Lanka, of course. I believe Vietnam. I think Myanmar. Colombia. Man, I wish I could remember all of the countries that they have tea from, but they have quite a few. And so really glad that they're around, because the only other one I found in English anyway was another company, but they still didn't have as many options as this one does. So happy that they're around. Shocked that they're based in Dallas. I think at some point they had a storefront, and I think that has gone away. So now they're just completely online. But either way, glad they're there. So from me to you,